Declaring age-appropriate chores that will work for every single kid is pretty hard. I mean, you're not even sure what your kid is completely capable of doing or what would be appropriate or developmentally right to ask them to do, right? That's why you're here. So for someone else to say that they know what your kid is capable of or is not capable of doing is kind of silly. But I'm a mom too. We like some guidance to go along with our gut intuition. Hi, I'm Amanda L. Grossman from moneyprodigy.com, where I'm partnering with mama bears like you to help teach your kids how to manage their money. It's nice to get some guidance on what other kids your child's age range are capable of doing so that you can make the right choices for your family. With that in mind, I've set out to do just that. Not to write out a long list of age-appropriate chores for kids based on what I think is right for your child, but to actually put in the market research to figure out what the other moms are doing with their kids. I've sifted through over 179 responses from mothers of kids aged 2 to 19. I've charted all the responses out and come up with an age-appropriate chore list based on what mothers are actually doing. Not based on what gurus say, not based on what best-selling authors are saying. This comes directly from you. And before I release them, I'd like to go over 2 thoughts to keep in mind as you're picking and choosing your own chores that you'll be introducing into your family and your household. You want to choose chores that will enable your child to grow. So when you're thinking about age-appropriate chores for kids, I want you to pick chores from the chores list that can fill 3 different buckets. Bucket number 1, chores that they've mastered. So pick a few chores that they're already really good at and they can teach their younger siblings if they have any. Bucket number 2, chores that they're working on. So pick a few chores they can do on their own but that they haven't quite mastered yet. And by the way, for this group, creating chore step-by-step expectation cards is a really good idea. And bucket number 3, chores you help them with. So you want to pick a few chores that are beyond their reach, but that they can help you with to start understanding how the process works. If you fill all 3 of these buckets, then your kid will constantly be growing, even from just doing chores around the home. They'll be both instructor by teaching someone else that your knowledge takes practice, but teaching someone else your knowledge takes practice, but it's a hugely important life skill. They'll also learn how to master something and see the patience with seeing incremental improvements, and they'll learn how to take on a challenge and ask for help when something is too difficult. I don't know about you, but those are lessons I definitely want my own son to learn. That and one more thing, money lessons. And I'm not talking about whether or not to pay your child for chores, which is another subject for another day. I'm talking about adding in money chores to the list of chores you expect your children to do so that it normalizes money management and teaches them some important money lessons. So don't forget about adding money chores to your list. Money management takes time and energy, and kids can definitely be involved in household money management. Don't worry, this doesn't mean they'll have to know your salary or other personal information you'd rather not share. Choose from the money chores list below from easiest to hardest. Loose change locator. Give your youngin' a job of looking under the couch cushions, in the nether regions of your car, and on top of the dryer for loose change that needs to find its way to the family piggy bank. You can pick somebody to roll up family change. You can get free coin rolls from your bank. Rotate which kid gets to do this money chore every few months. You can have a family banking day where you choose one day a week where everyone gets to update their banking needs by physically going to the bank or an ATM to make deposits, transfers, things like that. If your child doesn't have a savings account yet, now's a great time to get one. Bonus, since your kids know that a family banking day is scheduled into each week, every other week, or each month, then they'll start to learn to plan some of their money handling needs out ahead of time. You can choose a store receipts manager. How fun would it be for your child to scan in store receipts once a week and actually earn money doing so? You can use the Coin Out app for this, which I'll link to below. The money could go towards a family purchase, your family savings goal, or to them for doing the work, a chore you actually don't have to pay for. You could pick somebody to do the gas price finding. Have a kid with a smartphone, put them to work with the task of finding the cheapest gas price for your family each week. You can use a free online tool like GasBuddy to do this. Finally, I just wanted to give a little guidance on what makes a chore age appropriate for a child. Here's some criteria to think about. Number 1, that it's not dangerous for their age or capability level. Would your child have to stand up high or use chemicals to complete the chore? And if they do, you can always have them wear cleaning gloves or switch out to natural cleaners. Like in our household, we use a mixture of vinegar water for almost everything. Is it in an area of the house where they normally need to be supervised, like around the stovetop? You want to think about those things too. And number 2, your gut says it's time. So I'm a strong believer in listening to your gut, even more so now that I'm a mother. And you know what? My gut has never steered me wrong in parenting my child. Does your gut say that the chore you're thinking about is age appropriate for your kiddo or not yet? Also, in general, you want to get really specific with tasks when they're younger, such as pick up toys on that rug and put them away in this box. And then as they age, you can broaden your chore requests more to things like clean up your room. This is because as they age, they'll know better what the broader chore expectations are from both chore experiences over the years plus their own natural brain development. All right, now the time has come to release the list of age-appropriate chores for kids per the responses of 179 mothers. Head on over to my blog. I'll put the link to the blog post below. I've broken down the 179 responses by age, and you can click around as needed. One final note, in the end, you know your child's maturity level, capabilities, skills, talents, etc. Below is what lots of other mothers are doing to give you ideas, but be sure to choose based on both where your child is now and where you'd like them to get to.